Hi there, my name's Callum McDermott and I graduated in 2024 with a Bachelor of Project Management with honours. I've since been working at a company called Essence Project Management, who do client-side project management. I've been with them since August of 2023. I got the job during uni and I've been there since. And now that I'm graduated, I'm working there full time. So I also completed my thesis in 2024 doing research practice 1 and 2. There was definitely a lot that came out of these subjects and my final thesis. I think some of my favorites were studying in an area and discipline that I was interested in. I chose to do modular construction's impact on sustainability, and in particular sustainability rating tools. And those are things that I'm pretty passionate about. It's a pretty innovative project delivery method that they're introducing into the industry. So I was, chose to do that. And I was really happy with the fact that I got to choose that and sort of direct my own learning. I think also the benefits that you get out of research practice, as well as a lot of subjects in your final year at uni, is you get to apply a lot of the skills that you've learned over time. While you might not realize it during the year, you definitely do. And I think that's quite rewarding to see it all come together. One of my favorite aspects of research practice was you get out what you put in. It's both a positive and a negative thing, but whatever effort you are putting in, you will receive. You have a more personal relationship with your lecturer. So if you develop that relationship and you're really showing a motivation to do well, you truly will succeed. They will see that and they will remember you. They will remember your question. And it's quite a nice feeling being able to pick up a conversation with your lecturer, who you might not have seen for a week, and be able to talk about a topic that's very known to you, but you don't have to get them up to speed. They're well-rounded enough in your topic to give you advice and help you out. And I think they also provide a good amount of advice where they're not doing the work for you. They're just sort of pushing you in the right direction. So those are definitely my favorite things about research practice. Some of the more difficult things and challenges were just, to put it simply, it is a lot of work. If you want to do well, you do have to put a lot of work in. That means your time management has to be pretty strict. And sometimes you don't get the information or the results that you want. I know from my experience, I had to sort of rejig some of the last couple of chapters of my research because the way I was interpreting the data wasn't probably the best it should have been. But that was a fun little challenge in itself. I think if you sort of put the work in the first semester, you shouldn't come across any major challenges. But it's definitely something to think about, is sometimes you're not going to get the results that you want. But it's a good challenge to go back and fix it and adjust it and make it work. And then overall, it can be a little bit stressful and overwhelming, but it just comes down to your time management and your commitment. You're either going to give it your all or you're not. And if you choose to give it your all, you will do well and you'll see the results. At the start of the course, I was pretty overwhelmed. I wasn't really sure what discipline I wanted to do, what specific question I wanted to do. I didn't really have any idea. It felt like I was pushing a boulder up a mountain. It was a lot I had in front of me. But I just think the way that I sort of got through that as well was just to start looking, start reading things, start reading on topics that you might not normally read on, start maybe taking or being more aware to the things that you're passionate about, especially if you're working in the industry at the time. It's pretty easy maybe to have some things that you're passionate about and not really realize it. So I think taking an active approach to how you feel about the industry is pretty important. Once I finished up at the end of the year and submitted my thesis, it was a lot at the time. It was relief, it was pride, accomplishment, and very rewarding. I think, I still remember that last day of working on it and submitting it. It was pretty special in the end. I think I certainly committed to doing well, and I was happy with my results in the end, which was awesome. When I was conducting the research, I think there was a lot of skills, both hard and soft, that I gained. The ability to read research thoroughly and get what I need out of the papers, I think at first is probably one of the more challenging things to do. It's very overwhelming opening up a 30-page paper when you might only need or might only have to extract 1 or 2 sentences out of it and paraphrase it. But that is just what you have to do sometimes. I think as I moved on throughout the year, I got a lot more confidence in finding what I need, and yeah, getting the information that I required out of papers that might cover a lot of topics that aren't relevant. So that was great. My time management probably was the most impacted thing in a very positive way. As I said earlier, I committed at the start of the year that I was going to put in my very best effort. And yeah, the biggest thing that I had to change was my time management. With work, I actually we track our hours, so I essentially just implemented that into my university lifestyle and started outlining hours of when I'm going to do this, and tracking my time. It was a bit stressful and pedantic at times, and maybe a little bit overwhelming too, but it definitely helped knowing when I was doing uni, when I was working, and when I was doing my own thing. So that definitely increased. And I think the sort of the course being self-run, sort of with like the only guidance you're getting is the guidance that you seek. I think that was something that I probably wasn't used to as much as I should have been. I guess a lot of uni students might not be. It's pretty common to just go to class, get told what to do, and then do it. Whereas research practice definitely involves a lot more initiative, which I think is a really good skill. And it's definitely something that grew in the final year of my studies. I certainly have applied the skills that I gained from Research Practice 1 into my career. I would say the soft skills definitely, in terms of the ones I mentioned previously with time management and initiative. Those increased massively, and I have implemented them even more in my career. Some of the hard skills might not have directly carried over in terms of researching and things like that. I don't necessarily have to do that, but I think something that did carry over in regards to those hard skills was just my thoroughness in looking at documents and reading things and getting what I need out of them and interpreting things. That has increased dramatically. So yeah, that it's definitely contributed to my career and my work in a major way. And yeah, I was really happy with the commitment that was required, the initiative that was required, how it was sort of dictated by the effort that you put in. I think those parts of research practice really did propel my career and propel me as a person and build my characteristics and my values. So yeah, I was glad with how it all turned out. While it was overwhelming at the start, it was one of the more rewarding things I've ever done. Yeah, I think that is all the questions.
All right, perfect. I'm going to stop the recording.